Welcome to the Scottish Interior Podcast. I'm Declan, a social media manager with a passion for interiors.
And I'm Michelle, an interior designer with my own company called Interiors 45.
Together, we're here to chat all things Scottish interiors, design trends, styling tips, and the projects that keep us busy. Now, let's get into today's episode. And we're back, Michelle, episode 9.
We are.
What we like.
I know, it's getting good, eh?
Getting real.
I know.
It's exciting, but so how's your week been?
Week's been great.
Our week been, shall I say?
Week, yeah. We've hung about a lot this week together.
In each other's pockets.
Which was good, though. We were supposed to be doing something really interesting, styling yurts and a tent for a client that sells to like Glastonbury and stuff, so that was meant to be really good, so it's moved 2 weeks, but watch this space. Stay tuned. Yeah.
So we'll just go ahead and introduce today's guest.
We will, yes.
He's a bundle of fun. I love him. So today we are joined by the King of Statement Beds, George from Nimbus Beds.
The King of Statement Beds.
I love that.
I like it.
Who's now taking on the Costa Del Sol with his newest venture. If you love big, bold interiors, headboards and bigger dreams, then you're going to love this one. Known for transforming bedrooms into show-stopping spaces with his custom-made beds, George has built a brand that is much about lifestyle as it is about sleep. He's creative, he's driven, and he's got some brilliant stories to share. Yeah. So without further ado, George is on the podcast.
Okay, I'm not going to get out that door now. Do you know that? My head's going to be so big.
This is what we keep saying. He keeps writing these wonderful bios for everything. Everybody keeps going, I'm going to use that. Or I'm going to use that.
I paid him a $5 for every single word he's used there. Jesus Christ.
So we're good, but we should also say that we might need subtitles for you.
Yeah, you never brought the translator for the Kirkcaldy folk.
Yep, they are joining very soon.
Or the folk for Kirkcaldy.
So we can hear that you're not a Glaswegian, George. So tell us about you and tell us about Nimbus.
Of course. So I grew up in Kirkcaldy in Fife.
Shock.
I know, thanks. I come from a very entrepreneurial household, to be honest with you. A lot of the conversations at the dinner table was all about business and just real life stuff. When I think it went back to when I was 6 years old, my dad said to me, right, come on, we're taking you to school today. He says, I'm going to give you 50 quid and I'm going to show you how to turn that into something. I'll teach you the best education you could get. You'll learn more from me than you will at school. And we went. So he would take us to car auctions at 6-year-old, furniture auctions, warehouses, even other people's businesses that were doing well, and just to show what's going out there and what's happening out with the whole school environment.
Love that.
And we were at this auction, and he says, right, find something you want to buy. You've got 50 quid. And you want to try and sell that for more money. So it was a 2/3 George Winchester drawers. I remember I've got a photo of me 6 years old standing with it, and I bid on it. He says, I bid on it. What do you mean? He says, put your hand up and bid for it. I says, anyway, long story short, I won it for £50, and I sold it in the same auction to a guy who was bidding against me for £150 the same night. I went home absolutely jumping, and I said, Dad, I'm not going back to school now. I said, can we go to the auction tomorrow? And I think he realised he made a mistake at that point, but he's good. We always talk about that, and I still remember it quite clearly. So that sort of went on right through school. And I wasn't allowed to, if I wanted to buy something of my own, I wasn't allowed to use my buying and selling money. I had to go and get a job for that or earn that on the side. So one time I was playing this game on my computer, and I was buying the best outfit for the guy and the best house and all that, and I wasn't obviously paying for it. It was coming out my mum and dad's phone bill. And one day I come in, oblivious, what's this? Credits for this game. And realised it was me, I had to pay for that. So they said, you're not allowed to dig. I was like, that's fine, I've got money. He says, you've not got money, that's your buying and selling money. So I had to go out. I went right to the butcher shop that was like 2 doors up the road. Can I wash dishes? I've run up my mum's phone bill, I need to earn some money. And then he gave me a job washing dishes, and I'd done 5 years there. I was pretty much a full butcher by the end of that 5 years. I was 15. I learned so much from that guy, handling money, shutting the shop, just wee things that teaches you along the way.
And we're thrilled to announce that the Scottish Interior Podcast is proudly sponsored by Tyrrell's Home Furnishings.
With over 90 years of experience, Tyrrell's specialise in all things home furnishings, from flooring and carpets to upholstery, living, bedroom and dining furniture. Their commitment to quality value and exceptional service has made them a trusted name in the industry.
A huge thank you to Tyrrell's Home Furnishings for supporting the podcast, bringing style, comfort and inspiration to homes across Scotland.
I left school,
valuable lessons.
100%. Long story short, I left school before my exams, and I just said to myself, well, we've got something going on. I was selling gym supplements at school. I was selling, there was so much things that was just on the go, and I says, do you know what, now's the time. So I left.
Getting all the pies, George.
Definitely.
But do you know, it's like, you hear the guys that go into The Apprentice and stuff, and that's like exactly that kind of story. Like people that have done that, and he himself, Alan Sugar's like that, like
yes,
totally entrepreneurial.
Perfect example of the current winner as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the thing is, because it was so installed in me for such a long time, and to be so young, I didn't actually realise I was doing business.
Yeah.
I just thought I was just doing my thing, and it wasn't until later on I started to know what business actually meant, and I was doing it for the last 10 years, so it was good. The bed sort of thing, that's fast forward on, I was 15.
Because let's be honest, that has grew into a monster now.
That's it. I just need to keep feeding the beast now, and it's just I've lost my hair in the process as well. So 15 years old, I had £1,500 saved up in my own money after buying my van and stuff like that. I had a van at 15, but I couldn't drive it. But this guy at an auction says, have you ever thought about selling beds? I says, beds? That's probably one of the things I've not sold yet, because I was literally buying a microwave for a £5 and selling it for a £10.
Right.
I remember one time meeting this customer for a £10 microwave that I had at my unit, and I cycled down on my BMX, my brother's BMX, because I couldn't drive. I was 15, and I remember I fell off the bike on the way and
my God,
knocked myself out, and I had to go meet the guy, and with stones in my hands, and he was like, you all right? I said, I've just fell off my bike. He was like, are you here to sell me the microwave? I was like, I am. And he said, all right. And it was so awkward, because I was just this young guy, come in, bought the microwave, and it was just wee things like that on the daily, and beds just got added into the mix, and then beds took over.
And it's stories like that just is truly the making yourself, and it's so inspiring.
Because I think too often you hear like really polished stories, and people that have gone to uni.
It definitely wasn't polished.
Like, and they've that's great. They've done their degrees and all the rest, and this is how they've come. But actually, like real hard work.
Of course,
that's
you
like
learn
brilliant.
so much more physically going out. You can plan it all in your head and have a great. But I've never wrote a business plan in my life. You could plan it all, when you could be a great thinker and plan it, but if you're not executing it, and realistically, you're going to learn when you just start doing it and get on with it. So,
what a story! And as I'd said earlier, it's grew into somewhat of a monster now, and growing the brand for you. How's that been? It's been
good. It was quite challenging in the beginning, because I was used to doing everything myself. So we had all these beds stacked up, and we sold them on Gumtree at the time, and Facebook, and all these sort of. And then that load would go. I would buy my next load, that load, and then eventually, I was paying this monthly subscription to this business mentorship thing that I was quite interested in at the time, and he was trying to tell me to get staff. What's the point in getting staff? I could be in the shop. I could be there physically. I don't need to pay a guy to sit there.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had like a few grand saved up, put some plasterboard walls up, turned it from this really scabby warehouse to a showroom. I had a wee ceiling, I had lights, I had a wee place where customers could come in without lying on a mattress on a bag.
Yeah.
They could try it out. So anyway, I put my suit on, opened my shop, made it all look. I believed I was in a retail park, even though I was definitely not. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and 2 weeks went past, and not one customer come through the door.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So I waited and put more on Facebook, and eventually this old woman comes through the door, and she come to buy a bed, and that was great. I got a photo with her with the bed, and then pushed it on Facebook, and before you know it, there was more and more coming.
Snowballed.
And then eventually I did get my first member of staff. I decided to not take the wage for myself, which I wasn't really taking a wage anyway, because there was no, here's the thing, all the business money was my own money.
Yep.
I was 15-year-old, the bank wouldn't give me a business account. So I started to get bigger work, like for example, a local hotel started to hear that we're doing good quality beds at reasonable prices. So they come into the unit, and then they had to transfer into my Royal Bank of Scotland Super Children's Savers account.
Love that.
And then I had to pay my supplier cash for the beds. So then I had to go to the bank, ask to draw the money back out, and they would go, "Why? What are you needing the cash for?" It was like £4,000. What you want £4,000 for? To buy more beds. And he says, "Well, you're doing business." I was like, "Yeah, you need a business account." I says, "You won't let me. I'm only 15. Oh yeah, just need to keep doing what you're doing right now. We can't move you to another account. So I was getting all these stickers for saving money and as a children's account, but I was running a business from it. And then
that's just insane.
I wanted to look professional, so I needed card machines, but because I didn't have a business bank account, the card machine companies wouldn't deal with me until I was 18 either. So it was literally, I had a wee sign saying my card machine's out of order just now. The local cash machine's up the road, and every customer would come in, pay cash for it, until it got to the point I was 18 and I can get card machines. Brilliant. And it started to scale up a bit more and try to do it a bit more properly. Real staff coming in, doing our thing. And
I think wonderful story from a business point of view and encouraging for people that, you know, are thinking, how do we get started? Aye. But from an interiors point of view, like, you're obviously now doing, and I've used your services for a client, yes, and we've created some beautiful bespoke beds. Do you have a love for the styling of the beds and the making? Yeah.
I would say in the beginning, it was all about just
money,
about business, making money. Beds was one of the things, and then as we started, we called ourselves Fife Bed Warehouse for a week, and I wanted to go online, and then I realised we need to change it, and then Nimbus was Latin for cloud, so it come out and it just worked.
Yeah,
dreamy. Aye, it worked, and then slowly but surely we got more customers in. We started doing a bit more bespoke pieces, taking on a little bit more of a challenge rather than just a standard bed. Pick one of our 5 beds, one of these colours, and that's what you could get. So we started to get a bit more customizations rather than just stock that we had. I decided to go partnership with a guy down south to start making our own bed factory effectively. That lasted a few months. It was quite hard logistically, being up and down the country all the time. And we agreed to part ways and move the factory up to Scotland because I was putting a lot of effort and money and time into it. So we moved it up to Scotland, and ever since we've done that, we've opened massive amounts of doors for bespoke work, even just fabric wall panels, upholstery for bars and booths and seating, and we've managed to do that by training our existing delivery drivers into upholsterers. So now we've spent enough time with the team that we've trained the team up who wanted to be trained up on that job. Yeah. They're fantastic at it. They know the product. They've known it inside out from the start. And I think it's working really well. The team are really behind it as well, and they love seeing the transformation from just a room to, wow, that's really, really nice.
Just always comes back to the investing in people as well, and it just always pays off.
But I think the enthusiasm. So the guys that I've dealt with when they've come to Charlotte's, who was on the podcast previously, and Charlotte's my client that's doing the mansion, and we first met you through Ideal Home Show where Charlotte had met you as well. So it's funny how you just connect with people.
She told me all about you. I've got Michelle. She's amazing. She's going to come see you.
She's like, Michelle, you have to see George. But obviously the first beds we did there was the kids, and they were full size.
They were really good then.
They were massive, weren't they? So it was like,
I wish I had a bedroom like that as a kid.
I know.
Me too.
Pink for Mila and blue for the boy.
And it looks big. It looks big to us.
Yeah.
Imagine what things look like to a child.
Do
you know what I mean? It's humongous.
Absolutely.
But I think the thing is, when the guys were delivering them and installing them, they were just as excited as me, because every 2 minutes I'm popping in going, oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks great.
It's good.
You know,
and the passion behind it, because the guys who were delivering it were the guys who have made it.
Yes.
So they've seen it go from raw materials to going through the factory to even communicating with you as customers to then getting the goods in the customer's home, attaching it to the walls, and then seeing it finished. It's just, they're really happy with it, and it's good that they're buzzing with it as well, and they can see it from start to finish.
It's a pinch me moment for them as well, still, absolutely.
So see, when you say upholstery and bench seating and stuff like that, is that done on site with someone, or are you taking that away and actually making the bench?
It all depends on the customer's style. It depends on the area. If some things can't be done on site, some things can. It would all depend on the job. We do prefer to do it in the factory because we've got we don't have to relocate a lot of the stuff. But we have done a lot of jobs now where it's been done on site, and we've got a lot of the mobile compressors now, and we're trying to innovate with the way we're manufacturing mobile than trying to restrict ourselves to one place. But we have got the CNC machine in the factory, and that obviously restricts us to a location, but we're quite flexible. We could move around.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. It's good to know. I'm asking because I've got
for the
something
next
in my
project.
head. I'm asking because I'm like,
I'm dying to know all things about the next project to you.
I know. But one thing I want to ask you before we do go into what you've started.
I'm actually talk about it.
Wait. So there's another company that do a similar thing to you, like luxury bed company. But I've seen they've also started doing cinema rooms.
Yes.
Is that something that you
100%? There's, believe it or not, there's a lot we do in the industry that I'm not allowed to speak about. We do manufacture for quite a few companies online as well. So anything that you do see from these sort of Instagram people who have managed to get themselves out there a little bit more than we have, we could do that, no problem at all. No problem whatsoever.
Excellent.
Not a problem for our George here.
So anything, I say yes and figure it out later.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's just you,
I've done
though.
that a few times myself this week.
And 9 times out of 10, we smash it and we impress ourselves, and we just keep adding to the things that we could do. But
you know something, like, I've met you a handful of times now, George, and that is, I said to the guys today as well, I was like, wait till you meet this guy. He's so passionate, he's so driven, and that's just you. And
he's so driven that I go to a networking event called BNI, so I go every Friday. And it starts at like 6:30 in the morning. And I said to George, when you could come along, you would like the room, lots of like-minded people. And he's like, that, what? I need to actually leave at like 5 a.m. from Fife. It's like on your holidays. But he came. He did.
I come. It was good.
You're some boy.
I know. No, it was worthwhile. It was definitely worthwhile.
Good. So I'm just going to get into it because you know me, I love a holiday, Michelle. My in-laws have got a place in southern Spain. George, tell us about Costa Del Beds.
Costa Del Beds, right. Obviously, you can see we spent a fortune on the name and the marketing budget there. But
that's what it says in the tin.
That's it, exactly. So, to be honest with you, it all happened, not by accident, but I've been going back and forward, doing a lot more remote working lately in the last couple of years, allowing the team for me to take a step back and the team to work on the more day-to-day things. I'm working on the more year-to-year, quarter-to-quarter. That's allowed me to get out the environment and take more things on, obviously. Spending more time in southern Spain, I've seen a wee gap in the market. Been over, but with no real intention of let's do it yet. So anyway, I was just 6 weeks ago, I went over for a 6-week break with no intention of anything. I work remotely, see what happens, get to know the area a bit better, get to see if it's worth doing. Within 2 weeks into the 6-week trip, we had a lorry ordered to come over. The lorry arrived, we know where to put it, by the way. I was going to put it on my villa until we figured that out, but we managed to find a warehouse to rent the same day the lorry arrived. This was like 4 weeks ago.
Of course you did.
We brought the stuff over, started to build the showroom, make the showroom, and before you know it, we had customer reviews. We've got a delivery partner now delivering and assembling the stuff, and we've got a wee videographer taking videos into places. And before you know, it's just within 4 weeks, it's snowballed. Wow. We've got customers, we've got stuff going back and forward now, and we're starting to build a reputation, I suppose. So we're very early days in that aspect of it. I do enjoy the whole Spain thing because who wouldn't?
Who doesn't?
But it now gives me an excuse to go back and forward, and I can see I'm working without rubbing it in too hard to the team. But I'm just playing with the idea at the moment. I think it's a bit of fun
content as well, George. So I don't mind any time I'm over there.
I don't mind doing some styling for the island.
I don't mind at all. Honestly, I actually
I
love the reel you posted, and you were just walking in with this. I assume it was like a different parts of the bed past the swimming pool. Did you see it? I was like,
I know.
Dream job. And is it the same styles of beds that you're putting in?
So,
or
believe it or not, the Spanish market do not like fabric beds.
Yes, I was thinking that because the heat.
Exactly, they like wooden, metal, even their ottoman bases that we would upholster, they're all wood and easy wiped. However, I have not sold to one Spanish customer yet. It's all been expats, so like British, Dutch, Scandinavian.
I was going to ask that, and especially the type of bespoke stuff that you're doing, it's appealing to them, especially, and showcasing
definitely.
Abroad.
And you get a lot of people from other parts of Europe coming into Spain to try and start a life and do that. But believe it or not, the Spanish don't like dealing with non-Spanish. So that's obviously kept me to a degree. We have had some inquiries from Spanish, but I would say majority of the customer base will be.
Have you faced any challenges yet setting up business abroad?
I think it definitely comes with its challenges.
Language barrier. Language and accent barrier.
I've been taking some Spanish classes before I went over, so it was good. Aye.
You've been on the Duolingo.
I can ask, how do I get to the post office, or 4 bananas.
No, I'm still una cerveza con lima.
That's enough, isn't it? That's enough. But no, I think it's more just being unfamiliar and maybe naive to the fact there's certain laws, import, export. There's stuff that I've still got to learn as well, and I'm just still learning.
So
as
it's
I go.
actually interesting. A friend of mine is currently on Channel 4's Sun, Sea and Selling Houses.
Cool.
So they're the Garner family.
Yep.
We're actually penciled in to record
Do a
for
wee
them remotely.
podcast.
So
Nice, that'd be good.
They run the Garner's Couch Club
You
for
can make sure I
their
listen to
villa in
that.
Spain. But their news on their podcast this week was that they've just secured an opening premises in Costa del Sol.
Well done, good. That's good to hear. I like to see folk
um,
get on and do well. That's well done.
It definitely, we're missing a trick, Michelle.
So our staging business, we better start it
I
soon.
think so.
Aye.
And we're starting in the
Staging
Costa
Del
del
Sol.
Sol. Just so you know.
Starting a wee try. I think we're going to have a community of this interior
Absolutely.
people in the Costa del Sol.
No.
But the thing is, it's very. I have styled a property in Spain, and it is very typical, like all of the furniture you see when you go into the department stores there, and it is for that. It's a different climate from here.
Of course.
A lot of people let out their property. They don't want somebody with a velvet headboard, and then
100%.
you know what happens to that when you
It's
get
to be
7
practical
people staying
over
in
there
it.
as well at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah,
Because they do love dark wood. They're not into the white wood either.
yeah. But so you're saying from a when you say gap in the market, you're saying from a British point of view, they want a wee bit more luxury like what we've got here at home.
Yes, so I was finding some feedback that the kind of bespoke beds that we do at the moment, there's only 1 or 2 companies around that's full southern part of Spain that are promoting that right now, and they are actually British.
Yep.
Spanish they've just kind of not got their head around that yet.
Yeah.
But because obviously the Costa del Sol is now attracting a lot more expats, it's a huge mix of cultures there as well.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot of people wanting the luxury bespoke upholstery to make it look like whoa. And to be honest with you, I think that's taken over more so than the wood and the metal. And even though it's to be practical, I think people are just wanting that look, that Instagram look now, innit?
Yeah.
That's it. And especially showcasing their place abroad too.
100%. They want it to look flashy, they want it to look nice, and they don't just want a standard wooden metal bed just there. They want something nice.
Well, good. That's exciting.
And we mentioned in your intro, you were the king of beds.
Beds like it.
What are you thinking is the going forward? The future. The going forward.
The going forward. I would say the going forward.
Especially with headboards. This is what I
course.
wanted to ask, because like we're in this craze now with
Floaty ceiling and
floaty ceiling feature headboards that are just astronomical. Do you think that's got a shelf life?
I would say things definitely come and go. You've got to keep an eye on it. Like, for example, the whole crushed velvet craze. That was so in when I first started the bed. So was crushed velvet beds.
Yeah.
Where now
a wee diamond.
100%. Where now you just don't see that anymore. So I think the industry. I think people are trying to go a bit more. It was greys before. Now it's more biscuity, beiges, creams, light colours.
Neutral palette.
But I still think the fabric beds are in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going out. I think they're just the textures, the colours, the fabrics. They maybe want the fabric to look a bit more expensive.
Yeah.
And these are the wee things that really make a difference on the bed as well.
Because it is funny seeing how beds have naturally evolved over the years. Like, remember,
From horsehair to now you've got all these hybrid foams.
Aye, and look, where do you go next? Because I feel like some of the beds that we're seeing on
See, I did have
socials is just incredible. Like
a big grey Super King wingback
sleigh.
bed, and it was stunning. And now I've gone to still a velvet, but it's a smaller headboard, like
more
a lot
minimalistic.
smaller.
Aye.
So it's funny, isn't it, how you change? But yeah, I think the good thing about George and at Nimbus as well, like when you're working with you guys, very good at communicating, but also good at getting on board with the vision. So if I'm saying to you, right, like I want this, but I would like wall panels here, but I also want to insert a mirror, but I've then get sockets and I've got this. you are actually can say, right, hold on, we'll template this, we'll come out, we'll have a look at what you need,
That's it.
how we cut round about that, all of that kind of stuff. And I think that's what's great, because it really then is bespoke. It's not just a bespoke. It's not just a bed that's like come in with
Definitely,
a headboard.
not going to lie, anyone could open a bed shop.
Yeah.
But it's all about, like what you're saying, the service communication, but also the wee extra things that we can do. That if a client wants sockets, no problem. A lot of people want that bed like they're staying in a hotel every single night, and people say that, oh, I went to that hotel, it was well, why did you not get that for your room?
I know.
Why did you not do it? Oh, I don't know how. Well,
that is where we are moving towards, like the USB
definitely.
sockets,
Precisely,
like the way that the lighting's built in, and the side bedside cabinets
statement
integrated.
piece headboards,
total statement piece.
100%. The Ideal Home Show was really good for that. It allowed us to showcase and just let people know that we can do this. We do advertise it, but it was good to showcase it right in the centre. And people obviously over this neck of the woods maybe haven't heard of us as much as over our neck of the woods in Fife. So it was good when, as soon as the doors opened at the Ideal Home Show, we were really busy. People were coming over. It was a nice, fresh brand. We were young, fun, innovative, and it was good. And it worked quite well. So we'll be back at the same stand right next to the Super Theatre this year. And we've also took the full garden space at the Dream Home for our garden furniture as well. So you'll see us there.
Cannot wait to see it.
You get a meet and greet.
We do. We went to the meet and greet last year, didn't we?
No, we did. It was great.
Which was good. So, and then garden furniture. That's what I've seen on your page as well.
Something I've been toying back and forward with for a couple of years, but I think this year I've took it a bit more seriously. Trying to come up with a bit more configurations for people and colours, designs, but also price point. And that's what really helped me in the Costa del Sol. People were saying that trying to get something with a reasonable price point, but that you're not just feeling like you're sitting on some metal with a cardboard cushion. It's to try and feel like you're living in luxury in your garden as well. And I think we've hit the nail on the head. Price point, quality, stock, service, we can deliver fast. It's worked out perfect for this year, and then next year we can only improve on it and get some feedback from customers and try and maybe give it a better go next year. But you never know, it might be Nimbus garden furniture or at some point as well. But we're keeping that all in the same business just now.
Yeah, fabulous. Amazing. And tell me, I had a light bulb moment there. It was, if you ever had like a wild request.
We have more so, and it's all been Glasgow to be honest with you, but it's
of course it is.
Okay then.
There's a certain demographic of customer like to have hidden safes in their headboards, or for example, we done one.
No way.
So we done one that was really cool, right? You can, from IKEA, you can get these boxes with a key card on it, and it's just like a little mechanism that you could attach it to a drawer or something like that. So we factored in this key card. So if he scans this key card over his fabric headboard, this panel would pop out. He can store what he wants in there, but yeah, it was really good. And I swear you would never know. You would never know. So we started to suggest that to anyone who we thought would maybe appreciate a safe. We would throw that in on the sales patter, and before you know it, more would get added. And it's good because the guy, when I put the projects to the guys in the factory, they're like, what you got today then? As I say, and it's quite good because we've got to all sit down and get our heads together. How are we going to do this? And we work with a lot of designers overseas to allow us to get the CNC programs right, so it's everything's so accurate and it fit, and you would never know it's there. So I would say that's probably the wildest request. Or we've done a couple of headboards with like initials, fabric initials in the headboards and stuff like that as well. But
I wasn't expecting that.
I know.
There you go.
The CNC machines though are terrific. Remember we went to see one, and it just allows you to be so creative.
You do what you want.
Yeah.
You do what you want. Declan in a big headboard.
I mean, don't tempt me.
I know.
Or a safe.
And how have you felt like your social media's reacted to it? Like, because you're pretty on the ball when it comes to socials.
Try my best. I think it's going with the times and the whole reels, and there's a lot of home accounts doing their thing now at the moment. And I think if you're not doing that and you're not putting videos out and promoting content and behind the scenes stuff, and I think you're just so slowly going to get left behind. So because I've been brought up in that whole generation, I quite like taking videos and photos and then sitting at night and editing them, putting them together and adding a song, and it's quite good, and it gives you something to do, but at the same time it's good. It tells you a story about the brand and the business, and people. I've been in Asda one time, and I heard somebody go, "That's that bed guy on Facebook." And it's good people start recognising you, and they feel like they know you before they've come to see you, and it's good. Even the driver, we try and get our drivers on the videos, factory, we get everyone involved in the videos so that
just painting a virtual personality of the brand.
100% people know the full team before they've even met them.
Yeah.
And you must love it when, like, obviously I send you like when it's finished, so it's nice,
so nice.
And other people will do that as well. So it's nice when you've just installed something, but
it's even handier when you know what we want video wise. Because you're really good at what you do, so you kind of just match our vision for the content, for the look, and it's really good. You've made our Instagram look really good with the projects and that.
Thank
so
you.
there you go.
Declan's taught me well. I used to take things horizontally and all that, and he'd be like, Michelle,
I know that's something I've
horizontal.
to get used to that now as well.
We're in the chat the other day, and I said, Michelle, what's the rule? And you went, I've took it portrait. And I went, no, not that rule. She's like, many rules have you got?
I know. And it's wee things as well. It's like,
that was my Michelle voice coming out again.
it
Sorry.
was good. 80% of people, I think, on a daily basis, watch most of their videos on silent. Could be something simple, like you could be in a train station toilet, or do you know what I mean? You're and you don't want
the noise.
That's it. So subtitles, captions.
You're championing for these subtitles.
It's not because they don't want to hear it. It's just
English
they can't
subtitles
understand.
and Fife subtitles.
Spanish ones now too.
I know.
I
know.
No, it is true, because we did talk about that when Jen was on the podcast about people's attention span, because you literally have a couple of seconds to capture somebody's attention.
What's happened to the world? People are so bored so quickly.
TikTok.
As well, people are quite clever these days. They kind of know when you're putting an ad in front of them.
Yeah.
So if you make it look like an ad, it's going to get scroll past. If you make it,
every 4 scrolls on TikTok's an ad.
That's it.
Are you on TikTok? You are on TikTok, aren't you?
Not promoting it as much as I should be, to be honest with you. I'm not going to let. I've been slacking on the TikTok side, but that's something I definitely need to improve on 100%.
So I think it takes us to my favourite part of the podcast.
Go on then.
So we're going to hit you with a little quick fire round that you've not been prepared for today. So rapid answers, please.
Go on
then. Velvet or leather?
Velvet.
Most outrageous headboard request?
Probably a funky shape that didn't end up looking as it kind of looked like something else, right? Let's leave it at that.
One celeb you'd love to design or collab with?
Ooh. I've got a list, but I would say...
Give me your top 3 then.
I would probably say Richard Branson, because he's got many hotels we could work with. Yeah. I would say, but I've got many others there to choose from, but I would say that I do want to have a conversation with him at some point as well. So I think that I would kill 2 birds with one stone.
See, if you go on a Virgin cruise, and this is Celebration cruise, he's on it.
Is he?
Yeah, I was on it with him last year.
There you go, I need to make sure I'm there.
So, yeah.
Did you not say you jumped into the
Bring
pool?
a sample mattress and some fabric samples with me.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious. Dreamiest colour combo right now?
I think we've got a fabric called Buttermilk.
Oh.
And it's a soft velvet, and I think this is working really. It's really light, it's nice, and I think it's kind of what's working right now, and it just looks quite dreamy, I would say.
And then I think you're probably a hybrid of this. Early bird or night owl?
I'm probably a night owl, to be honest with you. I would say, although I'm quite good at getting up quite early, I would say my most productive part of the day would be nighttime, evening, 100 million %.
That I'm a very productive person.
So you know that creative people are the most creative at nighttime. So there you go.
I'm creative. That word come in handy there. You used that at the start there.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Oh, I know. I'd probably for 70, like midnight, I'm in my A game.
That's it. 100%. And that's the time I've not got my phone ringing 100 times a day.
Yeah.
I've not got things happening there and then. The shops are shut because they shut 8. Everyone's away home, and it's kind of good. I can catch up on my stuff, and I can make my to-do list. I'm really big on lists and to-do lists, and I'll make that for the next day every night.
Yep.
So tell everybody where they can find you.
Perfect. So they could find us definitely in the Costa del Sol now.
Yes.
But
where in the Costa del Sol?
So all over the Costa. So we're based by appointment only at the moment, just outside of Estepona, which is on the southern part of the Costa del Sol.
Not far from Marbella.
Definitely not. we did try to look at Marbella, but the costs are just, I need to get a len of you, I think. The Costa Del Beds, obviously, for Spain, but Nimbus Beds.co.uk. You'll find us on Instagram as Nimbus Beds, TikTok as Nimbus Beds, LinkedIn as Nimbus Beds, and you also get us at the Ideal Home Show this year as well.
And your showrooms in Fife, 2 showrooms?
Yes, we have 2 showrooms, one in Kirkcaldy and one just near St Andrews. Oh. That's a bit nicer, that one. It's the Kirkcaldy showroom's got a factory and a warehouse attached to it, where the Cooper showroom near St Andrews is a retail park. B&M and ourselves are the 2 biggest shops in the park. So it's quite, you get a wee day out and you can go shopping and do your thing.
Fabulous.
Yeah, fantastic.
Sounds amazing. And do you do soft furnishings too? Yeah. We
have dabbled with it in the past. We do have some stock available left, but to be honest with you, I kind of like to leave that to the experts. I think it's I need to stick to what I'm good at rather than.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, and you've such an inspiring story.
I know, it really is.
I could listen to you all day.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. If I had 30 more minutes, I maybe would have got some more bits in, but I've not got enough time today.
We'll have you back. We'll come to the Costa del Sol.
That's
get you on there.
That would be nice.
We just need
some
to film
palm trees in the back.
Del Beds showroom.
Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely. Thank you so much,
well,
George.
thank you, and thank you for tuning in.
I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to listening to myself and listening to the next one as well.
That's a wrap.
Right. Thank you.